Hey, Dan here, outside of the Crystal City metro station. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, wait a minute, isn't the waterfront station supposed to be next? Well, yes. Issue is, Crystal City's got some cool stuff around here that's about to not exist. Talking about the Crystal City Underground, it's this big, well, I don't know if big's the right term. It's this underground pathway system full of shops and restaurants and stuff that's closing down at the end of this month. So I want to make sure I can get a good video of all that before that happens, so I'm breaking the order for this one. This is the Crystal City Metro Station in Arlington, Virginia. It's a station on the Washington Metro blue and yellow lines and also has a separate VRE station that I will be including in this review. It serves both the Fredericksburg and Manassas VRE lines. I have a video exploring the Crystal City Underground in the card in the top right corner. With the exception of the tunnel connecting Metro and the VRE station, this video is going to treat the underground city as if it were already closed. The Crystal City Station opened on July 1st, 1977. It's a side platform station with a single entrance on 18th and Bell Street, and a second entrance is being constructed on the corner of 18th Street and Crystal Drive. This station sees 4,013 daily passengers on Metro and is incredibly well integrated into its urban surroundings. The station itself is not very unique, being a fairly standard Arch 1 design. There's very little, if anything, separating it from similar stations such as Pentagon City or DuPont Circle. When coming up from the mezzanine, you will see two sets of glass doors. These lead to the Crystal City Underground, with a path to the right leading to the VRE platform after a good distance. So Crystal City is in an area known as National Landing. It's this area, I think Pentagon City is kind of included in all that. It's a very urban part of Arlington County. It's where you have Amazon's HQ2 is set up. The Metroway BRT system runs through here. There's a ton of office buildings, a ton of luxury apartments. It's a very up and coming place. And I know a lot of areas in DC are like that, but Crystal City is one of the main up and coming places. You have the Potomac Yard development not that far from here that has the newest station on the entire metro. This whole area is just going over so much renovation. It is a very wealthy area, especially for the more urban parts of DC. I do believe at the moment this is the only entrance to the station, or at least directly to the outside. I think they're working on another entrance though. Now I'm going to walk to the VRE station through the underground city. This part of the tunnels are going to stay open.
navigation signage is pretty good until you get outside. There's no direct connection, so you have to go outside and cross Crystal Drive. But once you get outside, the signage falls apart. I had to use Google Maps to figure out how to get to the VRE platform. VRE is a pretty traditional commuter rail service, with nearly every train running inbound to DC in the mornings and nearly every train running outbound to Fredericksburg and Manassas in the afternoon. Rush hours only, no weekend service. While VRE is working on a better schedule and improvements, it's going to be a while before these improvements are seen. This is the last video where I'm going to recycle this filmer shot, aside from maybe some various B-roll later. Now I'm going to try to get from the VRE station back to the Crystal City Metro without using the underground. Yeah, that sign's actually just wrong, at least for VRE. Or obscured by the plants, at the very least. Oh no, it's correct. It's just obscured by the plants. They're going through an escalator replacement. I think I showed the location earlier of where it looks like they're actually going to be making a new entrance for this station. I think this is supposed to be the location of the new metro station opening. This is the area it's at here. We're at 18th and Bell Street. Now, one of the nice things in National Landing is they have a BRT. I've been on it a few times. It's better than a regular bus. It has not only dedicated
bus lanes, but like a dedicated transit way, at least through Crystal City. It does not from the 4-mile run to Braddock Road. Actually, I think it has some down Richmond Highway in Potomac Yard, if I'm not mistaken. It's still largely under construction, though. But this is the bus terminal. We have the Metroway stop here. Well, at least the towards Braddock Road one. They have it separated out into 2 different areas. That's nice. Although I was under the impression it was supposed to be just buses on this road. I guess I was wrong. So that's the bus bay. It's right outside of the station entrance. Honestly, this is better than most of the bus loops, especially for a lot of the stations. I think this is a good way to do a good compact bus station. This is urban, like, land ain't cheap here, and they still got something good going. Or I guess to go show you don't need to do a giant bus loop.
Now it's time for the Dr. Pepper test, a quick and dirty land use test to see how quickly from the station I can go buy a Dr. Pepper.
Okay, this might be slightly more complicated than I was expecting. There's not really much immediately around here, except for like offices and apartment towers. There are several areas, but they're all like in the underground, which I'm not doing. I'll probably do this CVS up over here. This guy here. All right, touching the pylon. We started at 4:20:20. Nice. Let's go. Got 4:28 in 13 seconds. It's not the best time ever, but here we go.
Now, let's talk rankings. Architecturally speaking, Crystal City is a bone standard DC Underground station. It would be a D tier, but I think the buildings outside of it and what remain open up the underground give it a coolness factor, raising it to C tier. Access. Even without the tunnels, this is an easy station to access. Not sure when the new entrance opens, but that'll make it even better. Since it will still be accessible via the tunnels, even though the shops are closing, this is honestly an A tier station. Even though the VRE connection is a bit poor, it's still there. When second station entrance opens, it could be an S tier, but that won't happen for a few more years it looks like. Connections. Crystal City is on 2 metro lines, 2 VRE commuter lines, a BRT light route, the frequent 16M to Skyline City, and local buses 598, 599, 43, 23A and B, and it's close to the 10A. This station has incredibly good connections. A tier. Vibe. The underground city is cool, but empty tunnels are less cool. The area is very up and coming, but mostly with office developments. Not exactly hipster heaven or luxury condo central. Retail uses are limited and about to get even worse. Good vibes, not great. Also, this Lockheed Martin building reminds me of war crimes every time I see it, keeping it from an A tier. So it's gonna settle in a B tier. Land use. Come on man, do I even need to say much? This is some of the best land use in the DMV. Dense, walkable, and bikeable developments with housing, office space, and some shopping, and so much more. And what it doesn't have is pretty close by in Pentagon City. A tier. Amenities. The station itself doesn't have much. Not sure if the restrooms will stay open, but maybe. The commuter store is handy and is also staying open. There are shops and restaurants nearby. Amenities are an A tier. Bike infrastructure. There were an absolute ton of people biking, and there's ample bike parking around, but I didn't see any bike bunkers or in-station parking. There are several Capital bike share stations nearby as well. Not quite A tier, but a solid B. Taking everything into account, Crystal City is an A tier station. Do you know what else is A tier? The like button, and the subscribe button is a solid S tier. That's all I have for you today. Have a good one.